So as I was saying, Jack Dorsey was on some interview saying, if you don't like what we're doing, you could go to some other platform, like I was saying, and people were choosing Parler, and then they shut down Parler, and then all that shenanigans happens with Amazon kick them out of their service and stuff, and Parler's fighting back. They issued a lawsuit against Amazon, but now Amazon's saying they also did it because they've been talking to Parler since November about threats to their employees. I don't know how true that is. It's decided that the only and then the Capitol riot things that they help incite that, even though the government has admitted Twitter was partly responsible, but only one person from that entire mess had a Parler account, and that was the Navy veteran that died, Ashley Babbitt, and she hasn't used it since November, but she tweeted on Twitter that day. So if that is the case, Twitter is more guilty than Parler. And if you're going to prosecute Parler for that, then you should come after Twitter with the book. You should no holds bar, ruthless, because equal justice under the law. If it's bad, if Parler can't do it, Twitter can't do it. I don't care how much tax money Twitter brings in. If Parler can't do it, Twitter can't do it. The article I was reading from Bloomberg said that they think Parler might fail. Their antitrust claims and their lawsuits seem weak. So I don't know where we go from here. Parler might be out for the count. Might down for the sauce. Total knockout. I guess I hope Parler can come back because I liked Parler. I moved over to Parler when we got banned from Facebook. There's some echo chambery people on there, but there's some echo chambery people on Twitter. Twitter still has some like threats that they haven't even pulled down. Tim Pool keeps talking about threats to him that like he's said something to him about, and nothing happens. But like all these conservatives have gone, and their reasoning is threats to like people and stuff. Uh, the double standard is so obvious; it's palpable, and it's only going to lead to more war and more conflict. Uh, Twitter is part of the problem, and Jack Dorsey needs to pull his head out of his ass and unfuck that mess, or he's responsible for the if war happens and sedition uprises because of it, especially now that it's a leftist echo chamber and he's supporting the left hate. If the left lose the coming war, Jack Dorsey will legally deserve the guillotine because you helped lead and orchestrate treason. Same works in the reverse if the other side wins. Like I think it was USC's S. Grant. I think it was that said it the best. You have the right to rebellion, but you risk everything when you take that. You put it all on the line. Your life, your rights, your property, your family, everything. You put it all on the line when you take that. If you lose, the winner writes history, and you become somebody's terrorist, and you get locked away and or executed for treason. That's how it works. That's how it's worked throughout history. That's how it works. and this will be no different. And we're getting there. We're getting towards the violence. So we need more alt tech platforms. That like somebody needs to find a new web hosting service that Parler can use, because we can't afford to lose any alternatives, be it Twitter, Facebook. I think it's time to utilitize them so they can't do this fuckery. You didn't want to follow Section 230? Well, now you're going to be beholden to the full power of the Communications Act. Like, be treated like the phone companies and stuff. Like, I don't want that. Maybe the government can sponsor and create a public commons. I really don't know how we go from here, but the Parler CEOs, stockholders, shareholders, investors, well, some investors pulled out like vendors and stuff. They shouldn't be forced to suffer because some idiots did some idiotic shit. And now, be mind you right, I support your right. So I don't support what you did, but I support your right to choose that you wanted to do that because you have the right to rebellion and remove your government. But that was truly stupid. It's 2021. It's the onset of the 21st century, end of the 20th century. It's not 1865 up in this bitch. Occupying a nation's capital doesn't give you control of the nation anymore. There was no symbology. There was no point. There was no victory. There was no gain. There was only loss in that endeavor. Even if you really wanted a rebellion, that is a stupid strategic move. And it only hurt you. Now we have to find underground networks of communication. Well, us here at that some point, we're rooting for you, Parler. We really are. We want all you to get back up. We got to check out Gab. We haven't signed up for Gab yet, but we're gonna get as many as we can. If we had the money, we would create our own platform just because. And we really need to figure something out because we can't survive like this. Not as a nation. And one side isn't going to dominate the other. So, like, you're not going to get your nation surviving under your values if there's war, and we're not going to get our nation surviving under our values if there's war. One of two things are going to happen. We're going to fracture into multiple countries like the Soviet Union, or we're going to, like, and I mean, like, we're going to split in half, like, divided line, or like, but I think it's going to be worse than that. We're going to split up into multiple different countries. More than one, more than two, more than three. I don't think America can recover from another civil slash revolutionary war. I don't think we can. I think we'll be completely toast. Now maybe that's our karma. We've been nation building all over the. We've been attacking big like consolidated landmass states and democracy programming, nation building, and turning them into little nation states that we can help control with our values. Maybe it's a little karma coming back to time for some nation building in the United States of America. Like, people have been calling the leftists useless idiots for the establishment, but I'm starting to think the establishment was useless idiots for the left. Like, they called the left in to, like, anti-protests, the Trump supporters, and instead they were like, "Let's burn this bitch to the ground." No, the both of them hate the government. They got so point that they had to evacuate, and now they're like up security and shit. You don't do that shit if it's symbology because you know that you're not even really threatened. Like, so, I don't know what you fools expected, but it is what it is, and now the alt tech revolution begins.